to Hawaii, then beat them the next day. A win over a top 15 team in Stanford before losing to #1 UCLA, and then a loss last night to #6 Pepperdine. As we're underway with this one, and Van Ooyen, the center, and a back row attack early on here for Daniel Fabakovic has Loyola on top 1-0.
Fabakovic is going to be set in the back row. So while everybody's focusing on the front row from Quincy, they have to pay attention to that back row attack.
Fabakovic working on some more heat on his serve. Let's see if he goes to it right here. Didn't put the full heat on that one, and it leads to a triple block, though. Josh Schellinger getting his first start as a Rambler in there instead of Jake Reed in the lineup, and Shosha and Bell, they combine for the triple block.
And this is a big task for Quincy, going against that triple block, finding the open space along the net.
Fabakovic, a second serve. A couple more miles per hour on that one. Left side attack by Barnabas Fenveshi. And we get attack error from the Ramblers, and, excuse me, by the Hawks. And it's 3-0 Loyola after this quick start.
And Quincy now having the discussion whether the ball was outside the antenna. The line judge called it outside. So gonna go with the call back to Loyola.
Yeah, no challenge. Omar Sanchez in his second year as Quincy's head coach, as a Lewis University product. Fenveshi will get Quincy on the board. Tie for the team high in points to begin this season. Junior from Hungary. Yeah, it's Quincy, their first point.
It's a good safe swing on the outside. The block changed up at the last second. 2 blockers.
Served by Bauer Larson. JJ Soa on the serve receive. Sosha able to cut it inside that block from the right side. And Alexander Sosha has his first termination of the day.
We saw in the opening Sosha being able to attack from the right side, also the left side, depending on which rotation, and he's super aggressive.
Served by Brad Bell. Was set by Paul Tooze. The Rambler block is big there. Aiden Klein, who's third in the conference, the MIVA in blocks per set.
Aiden Klein not having to move with that set. It came right to him and it was patient.
And Fenveshi will pick up his second point to make it 5-2 here in the early going.
We saw in that first point with Quincy, Fenveshi really trying to go against that triple block, but now he's being smart, looking at the block, that time only having a single block.
Well, Fenveshi was second on this team last year in kills. And of course, with Shosha transferring to Loyola, leaving some productivity that needs to be filled, as Aiden Klein picks up the cross-court finish. The junior out of Evanston Township High School.
That's the threat that the Ramblers have, having that offense in the middle, being able to have to track that down and then adjust to the outside.
Shosha the serve. The back set leads to a swing by Tomas Badan. And Quincy, after a slow start, down 3-0, or now back within 3. It's 6-3, and Bodan will go back to serve, a sophomore from Slovakia. Played in 23 matches last year as a freshman, had 5 kills, hit .625 last night in the match against Lewis. And serves it long for the first service error for either side so far.
Even though it was a service error, it was a really aggressive serve going all the way to the back line, which can become troubling trying to serve receive at the pace in which the serve's coming.
Here's Schellinger, who came on for the second and third set, really mainly the third set yesterday in his debut as a Rambler. Klein solo up for the block there. They go away from him this time, put over by Larson. Back row attack by Schellinger, and it goes off the block. And Josh Schellinger, who missed the first 4 matches of the season, All-American honorable mention at UC San Diego last year. A nice guy to insert in your lineup.
Nice to have that threat again in the back row. Klein's in the front row for the Ramblers, so Quincy's having to pay attention both the middle and out of the middle back.
Schellinger trying to go down that line, and it's out 8-4 in favor of the Ramblers. Quincy played Lewis last night. They opened up the season at Lindenwood just a couple of days ago as well. And of course, Lindenwood is one of 6 MIVA teams ranked inside the top 20. They're ranked number 19, McKendree at 15, Ohio State 13, Ball State 12, Lewis 9, and of course Loyola at 7. And there's an ace on the board for Paul Tuz, a graduate student from Poland.
A really nice serve right in the seam of the Ramblers, having to decide who was going to take that ball.
His first ace of the season, that was for Tuz, and that's in the net though. 9-5 Loyola here in set 1.
One thing that stands out right now is the Ramblers hitting 1,000 so far in this set, and Quincy trying to get that offense going, but still hitting 0. 4
kills, 4 attacks for the Ramblers, no errors. Quincy 3 kills, 3 errors on 9 attacks. And that'll be another block point. Bell and Fabakovic, 3rd Loyola block point today. They ended up with 10 blocks yesterday, but Pepperdine still hit 340 in yesterday's match.
That's a lot of blocking just for the opponent to be able to hit that much. So then you're looking at the defensive part of the game. Pass that block.
Klein, too long on the serve. Makes it 10-6. And now Zachary Strzeski is back to serve, a senior from Northport, New York. Played in just 14 matches last year for Quincy, but has started every match this season. Van Ooyen quickly to Bell. Free ball here for the Ramblers. Van Ooyen goes over to Fabakovic and comes over, and Fabakovic picks up his 2nd kill, and Loyola remains errorless so far on the attack.
Every piece along the net, as we see Fabakovic had a single block, chose to go down the line. He had all that court open.
Here's Alex Smits Van Ooyen making his 4th start now in a row as the setter, with Ryan McElligott still out of the lineup. That off the block and out of bounds. So quick side out for the Hawks. Smits Van Ooyen yesterday had 36 assists and checked in with a career-high 4 blocks. Isaiah Travis, redshirt sophomore from Minneapolis, comes in to serve. Fabakovic to Van Ooyen, over to Shosha, and a violation. Double contact looked like there from Shosha.
When it was going up for the attempt out of the middle, that's when Brad Bell made a contact with that.
Okay.
And so it caused the 4th contact.
Second serve, Schellinger plays it. Back set all the way over to Fabakovic. 12-8 Loyola.
The Ramblers are doing a really nice job with their side out percentage. They're siding out with their serve receive at 75%. And you add that to the hitting percentage right now, just below now 625.
Overpass off the serve. Van Ooyen will feed Bell, who overhits it. So Loyola cannot take advantage of the good serve. And Bauer Larson out of Lakeville, Minnesota, a redshirt sophomore, only played in 3 matches last year, a total of 7 sets. In the early season, leading the team in points and kills. Van Ooyen, back set, Shosha, cross-court finish for Alexander Sosha.
That's a piece about Shosha being one-on-one. It's going to be tough to contain him. He's so strong on the right side. Nice misdirection there by the Ramblers.
And as is fairly normal, Lucas Anderson, the first serving sub out there today, has the green light, and he finds an ace. 14-9.
The green light just to go all out with the ace. Not necessarily the spot on the court, but just adding power.
First ace of the season for Lucas Anderson, and he'll have 2 in a row. And that'll send us to the timeout on the floor. Lucas Anderson with back-to-back aces, and Loyola leads Quincy. Very familiar with this Loyola program. A 2012 graduate of Lewis. See if his team could rally back here mid-first set. The dig by Van Ooyen. Anderson will set Schellinger. battle at the net. Shosha there, and then Schellinger will pick up the point, his second kill.
The longest rally we've seen so far this evening, a lot of it having to do with the one-on-one setup with the block. Not able, keep in mind, the Ramblers have 3 blocks compared to Quincy's 0 blocks so far as defense.
And now Lucas Anderson will get a 4th serve. 2 aces before the timeout. Shosha, an easy block on the attempt by Fenveshi. Right side, nice cross-court shot by Bauer Larson. His second kill.
We highlighted Bauer Larson because we felt like his offense, even with that loss to Lewis, he had the ability to kill the ball and help his team out.
Fenveshi will be back to serve now for Quincy. Last year they were 8-19 overall. Played, of course, in the MIVA last year. Now in the newly formed GLVC Men's Volleyball Conference. And that'll go off of the libero Breckheimer. And Schellinger, who again played 2 sets yesterday, but he came in late in the second. So he had 5 kills, hit .571, had an ace and 4 digs in that limited time. And now so far today, a couple of kills, a couple of digs, a couple of blocks. Shosha with an ace. He had 6 of those against UCLA last weekend. And for the season now, he's up to 8.
Well, the aces are definitely having its impact against Quincy as they're trying to adjust to these serves and creating issues and trying to get multiple people involved in the front line.
Loyola, when they lost that match to UCLA, dropped a real tough first set, 25-23, then 25-19, and then forced extra points in that 3rd set, 26-24 they lost. But, you know, look at that. That's 2 sets, the first and the third, that Loyola was in there and get something to bounce their way potentially, and could have had a 2-1 lead when you look at it. And both of their wins come against highly ranked teams in Hawaii and Stanford. Fabakovic, all-out effort. See if Quincy, though, can still take advantage of a terrific serve, and they do.
That was really good play by Quincy to be able to speed the tempo up with the pass, the free ball pass, while Loyola was at the back court, and they're able to capitalize.
But on the great serve, and Fenveshi able to finish it off to make it 18-12. Schellinger to Van Ooyen. Klein, trouble with that. 18-13. That'll be the 3rd attack error now for the Ramblers, but hitting percentage still up over 400. Or now below 375. And but on into the net. So 19-13 Loyola. Ends a 3-point Quincy run. And we'll see Schellinger on the serve. Had an ace last night against Pepperdine. Spent 4 years at UC San Diego. Back to his home state. He was the Illinois Player of the Year, Lake Park High School out of Bloomingdale, Illinois. Shosha got the dig. Soa setting it up for Schellinger. How about that? Everybody in the back row playing that. Shosha, then Soa went and got it, and Schellinger finishes.
It was a nice rally with Shosha getting that first dig contact. It wasn't perfect, but it was enough to allow his team to be able to get the rally.
Ramblers 6 digs to Quincy's 4 so far. And the quick of the middle was blocked back. Tipped over the block and not able to get the pancake. It's Fabakovic.
A nice change up for Quincy to be able to tip over the Loyola Ramblers. They haven't seen that tip over the block. Everything's been swung at.
Strzelecki with that tip. Twos serving. And it'll be service error number 4 for the Hawks. The last 2 have been into the net. And whether it's the women's game or the men's game, it's always talked about if service errors are going to happen, but don't have them into the net. Put them in a situation where the opposing team has to make a decision, or maybe 15 feet out of bounds doesn't help either. But
yep, but make the opponent make a decision.
I think that one is, Quincy had to decide there. Couldn't just totally let it go one way or the other. And now 21-15. That was Tyler Howard coming in, redshirt sophomore from Anaheim Hills, California. Trzeski back on the serve for Quincy. Van Ooyen, Papakovic took some of that off and makes it 22-15.
Papakovic doing a really nice job with the changeup mid-air to seeing that the defense was going to allow that open tip right in the middle of the court for Quincy.
Papakovic was underwater for most of yesterday's match, finished with 12 kills with 10 errors. Today he's 4 for 4. Obviously, different competition, not even remotely as large of a block that Pepperdine was putting out there.
Pepperdine's average height up at the net was close to 7 foot yesterday that the Ramblers were going against.
23-15. Quincy recollects after the block, and they do it again. Twos sets Fenveshi, and that'll go out of bounds. So Quincy is competing strong here in the first set, 23-16. And coming in is Trey Severson to serve.
You're starting to see the Hawks kind of change things up, finding out what's working. We saw the tip earlier, seeing the aggressive serve, maybe a little shorter on the serve. So they're kind of feeling out the Ramblers right now.
Severson the serve. Soa to Van Ooyen to Brad Bell to get Loyola to set point at 24-16.
Really impressed with JJ Soa and his ability to pass the serve-receive ball. He is allowing the offense to get set up with his perfect passes.
And digs per set early on in the year. And a battle won by Shosha and Bell. And Loyola wins the first set 25-16. In their second home game of the year, looking for their first home victory. They got a 1-0 lead after one set here in Rogers Park. Championship course in 2014-15. And then obviously went to Northwestern, coached at the women's volleyball there, and now back at his second year as Loyola's men's volleyball head coach. I think you learn some stuff from the women are smarter, right, Laura? So Shane is basically saying I learned a lot over 8 years. And now using it here on the other end.
There's so much strategy now in the game of volleyball, and its population has grown tremendously as well. And so it's fun to compare the two, but the game is still quite different when you look at the physicality of it.
Service error there for Quincy to begin the set. And now Aiden Klein with the slam. Down to the floor. It's 2-0 Ramblers to begin set number 2. Ramblers hitting 500 now. 120 for Quincy. 4-0 blocks for the Ramblers, 6-4 digs and 4-1 aces, all in the favor of Loyola. Bell to serve, popped in the air by Fenveshi. The attack by Larson, out of bounds.
Larson trying to go high off the hands of the block, and that's the thing about Loyola. They had the block closed completely and really left no room for being able to get the attack in.
Bell, 1 kill, 3 blocks in this one today. Twos sets it over to Larson and down in front of Fabakovic. And Bauer Larson has his 3rd kill, 3 for 8 with 1 error.
Larson seeing the same block again on the right side, does a really nice job cutting that in the seam of the Ramblers block.
Here's Isaiah Travis, who played 1 match last year as a redshirt freshman, now a redshirt sophomore season. And that'll go out of bounds off him on the Klein swing. Aiden Klein with his third termination.
Klein standing at 6'9", being able to have that middle transition. He's really patient. The Ramblers do a nice job getting him in one-on-one position.
Playing in the M1 spot. And Brad Bell, the starter, at the M2 position in the middle. Schellinger had it blocked. And the triple block for Quincy and the point. And I want to say those at M1 and M2, and a quick synopsis for the viewers of the difference between the M1 and the M2, the middle positions, what they do differently.
The M1 is going to be up with the setter, and the M2 is not going to be. So it's often you want your M2 to be able to go behind the setter with the set, and then allowing the slide or behind the set. And your M1 normally is going to stay in front of the setter.
Miscue there, and it's 4-3. Quincy within one. Larson on the serve. Falbakovic, Van Ooyen, Schellinger, Van Veschi, and Klein in the middle of that triple block with Van Ooyen and Schellinger next to him.
And the Ramblers really mixing up their blocking schemes. Sometimes they're going solo, sometimes they're adding two. That time adding the triple block to focus on the outside.
First block point of the set for the Ramblers. 5 now on the day. Schellinger on the serve. 4 kills for him already and 3 blocks. And he's gonna maybe, yes, have an ace. That went up off of a light on the roof here, and Quincy did a fairly admirable job with staying with it for as long as they did.
One thing I'll point out that you don't normally see in the women's game is your front row, hands behind their head, protecting their head in case they get hit with the jump serve.
Oh, and that one ricocheted off a head. That may have been that counts a double contact if that's the case.
Nope, that was a single contact.
And a double block though for the Ramblers, and they've got another one. And Laura, you're a well-versed analyst of volleyball, but this is your maiden voyage analyzing a men's game courtside.
Yeah.
You've watched men's volleyball. You've never had the headset on, and so you're picking up little things like that, like the hands behind the head there. Exactly, on a serve like that goes in the net from Schellinger. And going back to serve is Strzelecki.
Westcliff University is so bugged, dude. That's a really good question.
Soa, Van Ooyen, and Klein off of the block and out of bounds. And Aiden Klein is 4 for 6 with 1 error. So the middles of Klein and Bell have a total of 5 kills, 2 errors between the two of them.
Which is interesting that Quincy hasn't changed their blocking scheme against the middles. A lot of times one-on-one and allowing Klein and Bell to get those kills.
Twos sets it over for, that's Alex Barkley, who's into the match here in the second set. A junior from Mooresville, Indiana. Transfer from King University, but a couple of seasons there, and was pretty good. Second on the team in kills and points last year in Tennessee. 8-5 Loyola, now 9-5 as Schellinger is certainly has been ready to play once he's been cleared for action starting yesterday in just his second match of the season.
Well, being able to use Schellinger out of the back row just adds one more threat to the front row. Right now, Brad Bell in the middle is enough.
Haven't seen Jake Reed today. Again, struggled a bit yesterday against Pepperdine. Schellinger went into his spot and obviously has grabbed that opportunity for now. 10-5 Loyola, but that's good depth to have because Jake Reed has been a big performer in his first 2 years at Loyola. Started all 29 matches last year and started 22 times as a freshman. So he'll be back out there eventually, that's for sure. Yeah, that's an error on the swing by Larson, 11-5 Loyola. And Omar Sanchez was thinking about a challenge. There we go.
He's going to challenge.
Some coaches will show that green card challenge. I saw Shane Davis yesterday. He just tells the official, I'm challenging, and holds up a C with his hand. As the card, though, helps if there's some confusion or it might be loud in some buildings. All right, so they called this out. And
but I heard Omar talking about whether or not there was a touch off of the block, so I'm not sure which. That was a quick review, and Loyola ball.
Well, we had 2 or 3 very quick reviews yesterday, so we're, I don't know, maybe it's a new, here on the men's side this season, maybe there's been a thought of if it's the camera quality and the angles much better this year, I'm being told, than last season, and things being improved in that regard. So some reviews get done quicker because you get a quick first look and you say, oh, clearly in, clearly out, move on.
And it's nice that they have the review system. Even though sometimes it can slow the game down, it's nice to know that everything can be confirmed if challenged.
So Quincy now has 2 challenges left. You start with 3 here in the men's game. Served by Tuz. Fabakovic not able to get the dig was Strzelecki. And Daniel Fabakovic has 6 kills to lead everybody in this match. It is 12-6.
The hitting percentage by the Ramblers with Fabakovic leading the way right now with that is he's hitting 1,000.
6 for 6. Loyola hitting 278 as a team coming into the match today. Well, this is their first match of the season, not against a team ranked inside the top 15. And Loyola trying to assert their dominance right now, up 13-6 after winning 25-16 in the first set. Fabakovic, a 2-time second-team All-American in his freshman and sophomore seasons. And he'll have an ace. That'll be Loyola's 6th of the day. Women or men has been a fortress, and men's volleyball has won 25 of the last 27 matches here, 43-6 over the last 3 seasons, plus 1 game yesterday. A setback against Pepperdine, with Loyola trying to get back on the winning track here at home as Alex Barkley is back to serve now for Quincy.
Definitely creating a culture here at Loyola about their volleyball programs.
The men last year were 17-1 here at Gentile Arena. And of course, the women's volleyball team winning their 2nd consecutive Atlantic 10 championship, another trip to the NCAA tournament 3 out of 4 years. Last year, this men's team, they answered the women's volleyball team getting to the NCAA tournament, got their own trip, and now want to do it again. As Lucas Anderson comes in to serve, he had 2 consecutive aces and served 4 times on his 1 turn through in the first set. That's pretty much maybe more than you could hope for a serving specialist coming in. He'll only get 1 here as Bauer Larson has his 4th kill.
And Bauer Larson on that right side has 3 kills, hitting 100, but he does a really nice job of finding that line. The block was giving him just a little bit, had taken all of his cross court away.
Isaiah Travis on the serve. And a service error is the 8th, or the 6th for Quincy. Loyola has 7, but they have 6 aces to Quincy's 1. Shosha has only had 3 attacks so far, 2 kills, hitting .333. Does have an ace. Oof. The radar gun showed that at 66. Not sure if that's calibrated correctly or not.
Oh, I was just asking Scott, how did you know how fast that was as we get another challenge here from
It's a
Quincy?
sneaky little radar gun screen to the scoreboard to our left.
Nice.
He's going to challenge here by a touch here, looking for a touch from Loyola on the triple block. It was ruled no touch and out of bounds.
If you look at the right side of the block, that's where the touch would have occurred as that shot went to the line, and it doesn't appear that there's any touch there. If anything, it might have been on the right pinky of Loyola.
Klein, yeah, they're 27 in the middle. Obviously, he's the tallest one up there, and where that ball was. This angle is tough to tell. Looks like, yeah, you might be onto something there, Laura.
It's hard to tell on those touches, and you're just looking for any type of movement, either with the stripe of the ball or any finger movement, and it can just be one. You see Klein trying to duck his head, not to get hit in the head with that swing. This one's taking a little bit longer to be able to look at touches. Touches are hard in the challenge system.
Yeah, you got to zoom. They got to zoom in and slow it down frame by frame.
It's also one of those with the challenge. It has to be clear to be able to overrule what the original call was.
Exactly.
And that can be really hard with touches.
And there's enough right now to investigate, to look at that and go, okay, I got to look at this a little bit closer.
Yep.
The decision has been made, and it's going to stay as a no touch. So Quincy 0 for 2 on their challenges, and it's 17-8 Loyola.
But if you're Quincy, you have to look at, hey, if that touch is there, is that the momentum swing that we could use to maybe get a run going against Loyola?
Yeah, it's a worthy challenge given the situation. Block touch there for the Ramblers. Van Ooyen. Sosha from that back right, which he was lethal with yesterday, his third kill today.
Such an aggressive attack on the right side, and we've seen him on the left side as well, but just being able to be one-on-one, and that just says a lot about the passing and the setting from the Ramblers.
Shane Davis saying that Sosha's been a great learner, been a sponge since he's joined this Loyola program. And a slide by Soa. That'll be point Quincy. Sosha was an all-conference player for Quincy last year. Second team All-MIVA. Led the team in kills, aces, points, and points per set. So Quincy is trying to pick up that production with their team this season. Klein has his 5th kill.
Klein moving a little further towards the antenna with the middle attack, opening this block a little bit more, allowing him once again one-on-one. We've seen the middles from Ramblers really being able to separate themselves from the block.
He played only 19 matches over his first 2 seasons. And now into that starting M1 position for the Ramblers. Dean Meyer, of course, an All-American, graduating off this program. Big spot in the middles in general to fill in. Sosha makes it 20-9.
Sosha has such a great presence in the right back. You have to pay attention to him in the right. You have to pay attention to him in the front row.
Schellinger, the serve. Scramble by the Ramblers. Gives Quincy a free ball. Twos. And that's Tomas Badan.
And good for Quincy to take advantage of a free ball. It isn't often that they are able to get a free ball, so being able to get the kill off of one gives a little bit of momentum for them, positives in the second set.
Strzelecki with the serve. Van Ooyen over to Fabakovic, and it went off the block, and then the antenna. Out of bounds, point Ramblers. Loyola this weekend beginning a 4-match homestand. They're going to have a couple more home games next Friday and Saturday. They'll take on Manhattan on Friday, and then a week from today, Josh Sellinger's former school will be here, UC San Diego, next Saturday. And they're currently ranked number 11 in the nation. So it'll be another top-tier matchup here at Gentile Arena next Saturday. And Quincy Had trouble tracking that. And it's 22-10.
Looking at the side out percentages by both teams right now, Quincy at 46%, Loyola at 81%. It's very telling of the game and how they're controlling the pace.
And that's an ace, number 7 for the Ramblers today. And this is Aiden Delorier, true freshman. His first career ace out of Eastport, New York. And the quote from Shane Davis, he's going to come in and rip a serve with confidence.
And he did.
He'll do it again. This time Quincy could play it. Shosha out of bounds. It's just a second attack error. He's 4 for 6 with a couple of errors, 23-11.
For Quincy, that was a real positive, being able to get the perfect pass off of such a tough serve with the ace coming right before that.
But on with the serve for the Hawks. Service error. Hey, Loyola's at set point. Looking to go up 2-0. And Tyler Howard is going to check in. And come in for Shosha in the front row. 25-16 the first set, Loyola won. And that's a kill for Isaiah Travis. We'll keep this set going.
Good run out of the middle. The middle seemed to have success right now for Quincy, being able to pull the block either way.
Twos serving. Fabakovic, Van Ooyen, back to Fabakovic, out of bounds.
That is Fabakovic's first error, and it was really close to that sideline. But if you look at the side out right here, who they feel comfortable with, they have Brad Bell in the front row.
Howard, I believe. And Van Ooyen. Overpass off the serve. Long back set, and Quincy with 3 in a row. Bauer Larson this time, 24-14.
Putting some pressure to be able to go into this third set unless Quincy's able to pull something off.
And the service error will end the set. And Loyola leads 2 sets to...
Right now with Loyola up 2-0, why not get some players in and get some experience?
And first point of the set will go to Quincy. That's the first time they've led today.
16, welcome back, kid.
Serving is Bauer Larson. He's had 5 kills, hitting .250 today, 2 digs and a block. Schellinger went to the floor. Shosha off the block, and giving the effort was Fedveshi. Comes up grimacing a little bit, looks to be okay.
Van Ooyen has done a really nice job this evening dispersing the ball out and being able to kind of showcase some of the players right now, Shosha being one of them.
Paul, did you marry your first ad, bro?
Right side, and that's a block. Schellinger and Klein.
The story tonight has definitely been the blocking by Loyola, leading between both teams right now. 6 blocks against Quincy's 1 block this evening.
Paul, you ever played Sims 4, dude?
2-1 Loyola. Hey, Quincy trying to keep this one close to begin the set, because the first couple of sets, Loyola went up 5-1 in the first set, and they were 4-2 in set 2.
Quincy trying to speed up their offense, the tempo a little bit with the sets, trying to beat that block.
Van Ooyen from the back row. It's Bryce Robbins, redshirt junior from Phoenix. Played in 14 matches last year, 22 sets. An incredible hard worker for this Loyola team, in the words of Shane Davis, but they're going to review it. This is the third challenge for Quincy, so if they don't get it right, they're done for the day.
I think there was some question about whether or not he had taken off before the 10-foot line, which would make it a back row attack. But that was a really quick review, and it's Loyola ball. So Quincy is out of challenges right now going forward.
So 3-2 Loyola here in the third. Hitting 500 on the day. Right side attack by Larson. Van Ooyen. It's so Shosha didn't have the ability to really rise up for that one. Over the block, and that's a kill for Barnabas Fenveshi, who tonight has 5 kills, tied for the team high with Bauer Larson. I just combined both of his names there. 3-3.
Fenveshi really doing a nice job on the outside, and that's what we've seen Quincy. They're kind of picking up their tempo a little bit with their offense.
That's an ace. And Quincy now has their second lead of the day.
You look on the sorry, Scott. You look at the flip side of Loyola. They have some new bodies into the lineup, so learning how to adjust, get used to players, and obviously wanting to be able to trust some subs going in.
But on. Schellinger played it to Van Ooyen. Shosha could attack that one from the back right. Tipped over the triple block. Shosha knocks it towards the net. Heading towards that antenna. J.J. Soa with the effort. 5-3 Quincy here in set 3.
You look at Quincy and you look at Loyola, you look at the power in which each has. Arguably, you could say that Loyola has more physicality and power. So Quincy finding ways to get points, and it's been that they're serving, and then lately mixing up tips across the block.
But on with the serve. Robbins again, showing off that back row attack. He's 2 for 2 on it.
He's had a really nice showing with these back row attacks, and we've seen Shosha's back row attacks and how effective they are, being able to bring another player in with the attack.
There's Schellinger. And out of bounds. Service errors, the 9th for Loyola today. 9 service errors, 7 aces. Quincy, 8 service errors, 2 aces.
16, sub out again, dude.
And serving will be Paul Tews, who today 14 assists, 1 ace, 1 dig. The setter for the Hawks. Van Ooyen. Back to Robbins, high off the block touch. And Robbins now 3 for 3.
I have to be impressed with Robbins. His 3 attacks, 2 from the back row, this one in the front row. He's finding ways to get points. Hasn't necessarily seen a lot of time in the lineup.
And appeared in every match, but 12 out of the first 18 sets of the season he's played. And Larson went off of him. It was still playable. Schellinger giving the effort.
Larson on the outside, trying to bring that hitting percentage up. He's been pretty successful at times, going with the mixed shot with the tip over the block, that time with the line drive.
Barnabas Fenveshi serving. 6 kills on the day. And 7-6 on the service error. Mentioned that Quincy now in the Great Lakes Valley Conference, newly formed for men's volleyball. Missouri S&T, Roosevelt, Rockhurst, which they'll come here to play Loyola. on February the 14th. Southwest Baptist, Thomas More, Quincy, of course, Jamestown, and Maryville. The conference has an ace on the board for Alex Spitz Van Ooyen. That's his first this season. No, it's his second because it's his second today. So his second of the season. And that's off the block first, then out of bounds.
The hitters carry a lot of the percentage with the hitting because that's what you look at, but you have to look at the setter and how well a setter is doing it. Being able to successfully set the hitters up in positions to be successful, and Van Ooyen has done that this evening.
Yeah, Van Ooyen on the Ramblers side with 25 assists. Looking for a 26th. Free ball for the Ramblers. Soa to Van Ooyen. And there's Mikkelsen. And good up there by Tooze. Another free ball for the Ramblers. This time it's Shosha. No one's taking that one.
We just got done talking about Van Ooyen and setting hitters up to be successful. Went to the middle, then pushes it fast to the outside for Shosha with the kill.
Robbins the serve. Playing it to the floor was Venveshi. Shosha and Mikkelsen with the block.
One other point about speeding up the tempo, you have to be careful when you have a middle standing at 7-2 because that set that's being sped up could look like a middle attack.
Robbins off the net. Played by Badon. Oh, Howard Larson, that was, he had to lunge back to make a play on it. And Robbins will get a third serve. Robbins played 2 matches 2 years ago for the Ramblers. Again, 14 appearances last year. And now 10-9. And Bauer Larson will serve it. Soa to the net. Van Ooyen. Mikkelsen was in the air forever, and that long reach finally got to the ball, and that's a Loyola point. That is, I mean,
that's the point I was trying to make.
7-2 is right. Intimidating sometimes.
Yeah, coming at you. And that's a timing issue too with the block, and how do you adjust with someone who has such a long arm swing and the timing of that to be able to be in the air when the contact's made.
Goes now back to serve. Shosha with one arm blocked the attempt initially by Alex Barkley.
The game of volleyball, they just kind of say, hey, put your hand up. Even if you can just get one over there, go ahead and make the reach. Shosha trying to do that.
I don't know if you know number 13, but we don't like him.
Barkley to serve. Back set over to Shosha. Inbounds.
The story of the hitting percentages so far this evening is we look at Quincy in the match, 145, Loyola, 510.
Hitting .636 this set are the Ramblers. And Veshy the attack. Van Ooyen to Aiden Klein. His 6th kill. Fabakovic has 8, Shosha with 7, Klein with 6, Schellinger with 5. Your top 4 in terminations today for the Ramblers.
We've seen a lot of sets in front of the setter. That last one for Klein being behind the setter, throwing the block off a little for Quincy.
13-11 now. And the Ramblers starting this 4-match homestand, Manhattan and UC San Diego next week. Number 11 UC San Diego as of right now in the coaches poll. And with the one arm, Soa. And then Shosha.
What a up by Soa with the one-hand defensive move and allows the perfect set to be made to the right side to Showa.
Soa's got 6 digs, and Shosha's got 8 kills. Soa, Robbins probably got in the way of Soa there. And Soa, you could see saying, no, you made the right play. 14-12. Next Loyola point will send us to a timeout unless Quincy gets to 15 first. 5:29 hitting today for the Ramblers. 153 for the Hawks. Shosha off the block, out of bounds. Point Loyola, and there is the timeout now. 15-12 Loyola here in the third set. The Hawks, who next weekend, actually not even next weekend, they're gonna have some time off. They're not gonna play again until February the 13th.
Wow, that's a big break.
Yeah, and they're going to be playing at Fort Valley State. Now, I did see on their schedule, they actually have an exhibition matchup coming up next week, now that I remember it, but not an official Division I game. Of course, remember with men's volleyball here, Division I, Division II are basically combined. 50 competing schools. And that's a service error. Actually, they play Mount Mercy University, which if you gave me 20 guesses, I'm not exactly sure I could tell you where they are. And then also they'll have a match with Life University before those Fort Valley State matches. So they're going to play. It's just not going to be official matches that will count towards their record, as Loyola now leads 17-13 as Mikkelsen gets up there with the block.
Mikkelsen doing a really nice job closing the block. He had to go all the way out to the pin, and he's excited.
Van Ooyen's serve goes out of bounds. You know me, I have to close a thread. So Mount Mercy is an NAIA school in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. And Life University is also an NAIA school in Georgia. So that's the next 2 games for Quincy, and that's why in both cases they are going to be exhibition contests. As there's a block, it pumped up is Power Larson alongside Tomas Badan.
Badan finding a way on the right side too. It's interesting that both of these teams, their strong hitters have come from the right side of the net, not necessarily the left side.
Van Ooyen and Mikkelsen with the kill. His second to go along with 2 blocks. So he's doubled up his kills total for his career here in this set. He played just 1 set against UCLA, had a couple of kills against the Bruins last Saturday. And that's hit into the net by Robbins. (18-16) Loyola here in the third. And for those of you watching us on Marquee Sports Network, every home Loyola men's volleyball game except for one, as scheduled right now, will be airing on Marquee Sports Network this year. Happy to have that partnership continuing this year. And Illinois battle with this one. Soa to Van Ooyen. And a Shosha. His 10th kill. So he reaches double figures.
Shosha's skill is very impressive on the right side, but you can't talk about that kill without talking about JJ Soa with an amazing serve receive, perfect pass.
Yeah, Soa is up there in the country as one of the best on the serve receive, and that'll be an ace. Mickelson picks up the ace, the first of his career.
Mickelson going for the left court side. Quincy's going to go ahead and take a timeout, but that's a hard angle to hit straight ahead for Mickelson.
So 20-17 Loyola. They won the first two sets, 25-16 and 25-14. And the Ramblers trying to go to 3-2 overall, get their first win here at home. Obviously, again, tough competition. Started the season with a couple of matches at the now number 3 team of the country, Hawaii. So you look at some of the highlights. Dropped the first match in 3 and then came back the next day, 24 hours later, and defeated Hawaii 3-1. And last weekend, a great event in Arizona with games against Stanford and UCLA. Ball State was also there. Ball State also got to have matches with those two schools. And beat Stanford in 5 on Saturday of last week, and then got swept by the number 1 team of the country, UCLA. But again, 2 of the 3 sets were decided by 2 points, and the third set went to extra points. And then last night, losing in 3 to number 6 Pepperdine. Loyola, it may not, probably compared to all their performances so far, may have been their weakest performance of the entire season. So nice to bounce back here in this one. Again, as a team with Quincy, I think we'll, I think everyone could say not on the same level as the prior competition, but Loyola will certainly take the opportunity to get right, as they say. So eventually it's going to toughen up again schedule-wise. Dump to the middle. That being said, interested to see Quincy in a new league, what they'll be able to do in that, and try to build themselves up to be the prime team in the new GLVC.
It's good to see Quincy come out in this third set, maybe a little more aggressive, making some adjustments to the setting, the tempo, and finding set dumps just like that one to score a point.
Quincy's picked to be 4th in the new 8-team GLVC. Rockhurst is the preseason favorite, and that's the team that's coming to play Loyola on February the 14th. There's also a new MIVA team in the league this year. 21-18 Loyola off of the service error. That's Northern Kentucky. They're now joining the league and be on the schedule for a home and an away match against Loyola. As Lucas Anderson will check in to serve. Seeing the growth of the men's volleyball game now. New programs sprouting up. New leagues obviously sprouting up. As there's a block, Schellinger and Klein.
What started this match was the highlighted of the block. Loyola choosing to go with the triple block to start on. They've pulled that back a little more with just a double block or a single block at times, but they're still leading that block category. 9 blocks.
Anderson, almost a third ace. Van Ooyen to Clyde, and the attack error. And Loyola saying that there was a touch, and they're going to challenge. First time Loyola's challenging today.
That was a case where the whole team was telling Shane Davis, challenge this call right now.
Want Aiden Klein to have his 7th kill and not his 2nd error.
It definitely looks like the left hand, there's some finger movements against Quincy. If you pay attention to that pinky, index, ring finger area of the left arm, if that's where the touch occurred, that would be my guess. But this is a great angle to see.
I think so. I think I see a little flex of the fingers there from Tomas Badan on that left hand.
Oh, that's a great angle. See where the left finger of the ring finger
The ring
goes
finger
back.
and the middle finger on his left hand. Yeah, I say there's a touch right there. That ring finger definitely moves.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to say overturn here.
All three angles were really good for us to be able to kind of view and get our own opinion here, but it really comes down to what the official sees.
Good. Forward, backwards, forward, backwards. See, a decision has been made, and
Loyola ball. There was a touch.
yep. Well, the call's overturned. I was right. And it's 23-18. Remember, I only go on record when it's like pretty close to obvious, let's just say. And now Quincy's going to use its last time out here. 23-18 Loyola. So Ramblers still hitting above 500. Shosha with 10 kills. Fabakovic has 8. Van Ooyen leading the way, 34 assists, of course, as the setter, but also 2 aces. Soa with a team-high 6 digs. No real surprise there to be leading the way. And then you have Klein and Schellinger each have 4 blocks. For Quincy, 8 kills each for Bauer, Larson, and Barnabas Fenveschi. 20 assists for the setter, Paul Tooze. They have a couple of aces as a team today. 3 digs for Zachary Strzelecki, and a team-high 3 blocks for Tomas Badon.
For Loyola, they set that 10 blocks last night against Pepperdine as a team high, 10.5. Almost there tonight with the 9 blocks, whether or not they'll get that in the last 2 points. But you see the growth and what they're looking for defensively along the net. They're making good strides in the first contact of defense.
Lucas Anderson will still be serving. Now a junior out of Manhattan Beach, California. Had 2 aces back in the first set as Gavin O'Brien is going to check in. Redshirt sophomore out of Naperville, Illinois. He'll make his first appearance. Anderson the serve, and that'll be ace number 3 for Lucas Anderson today, putting Loyola to match point. And now, he already had the green light, but now it's like the ultimate, this is the ultimate green light here. Trying to win this one right now with the serve. Bad set. It went over the net, though. Schellinger. Oh, into the net, and it's 24-19.
I think there was a question around the Quincy player being in the net during that play, but it was outside the antenna, so they're going to say that was illegal during the play.
Match point number 2 for the Ramblers, with Badon serving. Soa to Van Ooyen. Anderson staying in there, attacking from the back row into the block. And a net violation. And so Loyola will win it 25-19 and win it 3-0. Let's just take a look here. And again, Quincy can't challenge it, so it's going to be, even if it wasn't the right call, it's going to end up not mattering. And maybe.
I think at the end he steps over. That's what they're looking at.
That I think may have been what it was. And maybe a little net tap right there on a block. So probably should have been a Quincy point if, without the block, obviously, or without the